would have thought we'd ever be back? Don't call it a comeback. It's the Unlikely Innovators.
We never left.
No, but we made it back to the long form.
Yes. Back to our roots. Back with the Podfather.
Yeah, on the ones and twos, we got Paul Hamilton. What's up, Paul? He doesn't have a mic, so
But he says hi.
He says hi.
Yeah.
And we're now on the sort of local podcast network. So now we'll be joining you every couple of weeks with really good content. Good to be back in the long form.
Yep.
Be able to stretch some of our time with the guests we have. And today we have an awesome guest. We have President and CEO of the Sudbury Chamber of Commerce, Marie Litalien. Marie, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Welcome.
Yeah, it's Mike and I know you from your past roles, the world, just being out in the world. We had a good party on Friday for my wife's birthday. So we do know each other, but I think it's really important for the listeners to sort of get to know you and just sort of your background and some of the things you're working on at the Chamber. We know that you studied journalism
At Cambrian.
At Cambrian, Woot, in a past life. Can you talk about how that may have served you in roles like corporate communications at the City of Greater Sudbury and then now at the Chamber of Commerce?
Sure. So journalism is one of those diplomas and one of those post-secondary, one of those post-secondary sectors that really is sort of like a sneaker.
Yeah.
So it actually is surprising in how many ways it has prepared me for my career. I always wanted to be an investigative journalist, right? I thought that was like my calling, National Geographic, or maybe a photographer, and sort of doing all these adventures. But what I realized when I went through the program is that I really am a local girl. And I love municipal politics. So that really sort of charted my path and my career path. So journalism teaches you things about communication, about direct communication, more importantly, about asking the right questions. And I think that is probably the most important thing I learned throughout my post-secondary studies. It's not just accepting the answer for the answer. It's really looking at all the angles and determining the impact of that story before just sort of putting it out there into the world. So that obviously, direct communications, storytelling, not burying the lead, right? Just getting to the point, are all things that really helped me. But also there's an ethical piece to journalism that people forget. So you really learn to determine how your stories affect others, how your decisions affect others, which in my role in corporate communications and municipal government, in customer service in municipal government, and now as a CEO, and with a large 800 member strong organization really has helped me in many ways.
I think you've been a great investigative journalism on the beat, just
know.
like relentless, looking for all the pieces.
I know. With a little ball cap.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta have the hat.
Yeah,
What was it in the hat?
Like a little press, piece of paper that indicated.
I would have
press
loved that,
credentials?
And I did that for a little bit, and that was great, right? I worked for formerly Northern Life, Sudbury.com now, and I did some freelancing for the Sudbury Star, and I love writing, so I still get to do that, so it's great.
I guess it also, makes you appreciate the other side of it, right? If you have a little bit of that experience on the asking questions side, I mean, it maybe prepares you better for, providing the answer. And I think that's probably something that's served you well as well too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you have to have an unbiased opinion, and having an unbiased opinion is really difficult. So when you're taught how to do that, and then you have to make decisions in leadership or for the greater good of the municipality or whatever role you're in, it's actually very helpful and important, right? And being self-aware as well, sort of recognizing where you're biased and how you're biased and taking that out of it and really being fact-based and truth-based, I think is really important.
Yeah, and thank you for admitting that you really like municipal politics.
I know.
You said that on camera now.
I know.
We're gonna clip that.
Is it wrong?
Yeah.
I do. I read every
good.
council
Hey.
report, so
I won't call you a nerd for doing that.
Well, we're gonna take a page out of J School, not bury the lead.
J school.
Yeah. Well,
That's the lingo.
That's the lingo, right? I
J
didn't go,
She's
but
in
I
J
could.
school.
that's what they call it.
I could say it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we brought you in here because we wanted to talk to you about your role as the president and CEO of the Chamber of Commerce. Obviously, an organization that Steve and I are connected with and work with a lot of mutual partners. But so before we get into that, obviously coming into that role, How do you enter a role like that, knowing that Debbie had been in that role for a number of years, she did a great job, but you want to come in there, I think, build off of what she's done, but also differentiate it and make it your own. How do you kind of navigate that, and how have you navigated that?
Well, it's not easy. Debbie's a legacy. She still is, right? She put in so much hard work for our community, and really she was a constant for so many years. And, consistency builds trust. That's one of the things they teach you in corporate communications, not so much in journalism. But so that was really important to the business community. And she was involved in some of the advocacy priorities that we still work on today, like the four laning of Highway 69.
I've heard her talk about that a few times.
Yes, and we're still working on that today. So I was actually really thankful to have that foundation of trust in the business community that the Chamber of Commerce already had. So it's really about taking the time to listen and making purposeful change, not change for the sake of change.
Yeah.
A lot of people sometimes come into these positions and they just want to change everything because they want to make their mark. But change has to have a reason. Otherwise, it's just, there is no plan and it doesn't make sense. So I think I took a lot of time learning, a lot of time just kind of feeling it out, going through some events the way they were and making some small changes, looking at advocacy, how we did advocacy, and identifying some ways we could change that. And I think really it's about getting out in the community. I sort of knocked on a lot of doors. We attend a lot of events. We're out in the community a lot. I think that's a positive thing for the Chamber to see, the staff out there and really involving the staff in some of those decisions. Some of them are long-time employees. Some of them are newer. I've been fortunate enough to hire some new people, right? So really building that team and allowing them to have some impact on some of those changes has been really helpful, I think, for the members. And of course, it's always about the members. What do the members need? What do the members want?
Yeah, so that integration and the energy together, that's not something you can necessarily train, but that's been deliberate, I assume.
Yeah. So it's the members who create the vibe. We just create the environment for them to make that vibe, right? So small changes. I believe, like we were just talking about before the podcast, right? Low lights and music. That makes everybody comfortable. Everybody feels welcome. It's fun. It's welcoming. It's inviting. It doesn't always have to be so serious, right? We have serious jobs, and our business owners have a lot of weight on their shoulders. They support this community. They create jobs for people. They are the foundation of who we are. So the ability to let loose a little bit with your peers is really important, and I think it's been received really well. We're seeing some increased attendance at some of those networking events, and just some small changes to our other events, just sort of lighten the vibe and make it a welcoming and fun place to be.
Well, job done. Keep that up.
We had Marla Tremblay from Mind Connect on in a previous season. We'd asked her about events and like what works, and sometimes breakfast will work well in Thunder Bay, but for her group it doesn't work in Sudbury. Have you noticed any things where it's like this style doesn't necessarily work here, or we're tweaking this a bit? What's worked?
Yeah, I think it depends on which sector you're looking to attract.
Yeah.
The restaurant businesses, you're going to do it a Monday and you're going to do a breakfast, right? They're typically closed on a Monday. But I think what we've noticed a little bit probably different than the past is a 4 to 6 or a 4:30 to 6:30 right after work, not having to come back out.
Yeah.
Sort of, all those babysitters and all that extra stuff that you have to do. So I think that's really key for networking is getting them right after work, or even out of work a half hour early, seems to work a little bit better. And then some of our more signature events, like the celebratory events, like the BAs and that type of thing, we're looking at making some changes perhaps just to see what works. But really the important thing is try it. If it doesn't work, throw it out and try again, right? It's not really that difficult to sort of pilot things and then accommodate and
Yeah, to your point about restaurants versus other companies, Sudbury might be a little bit unique insofar as you have mining and heavy industry as the backbone, but then you also have like a rich healthcare and healthcare support industry, and then obviously the retailers that support the folks that live here. How do you sort of advocate for that many different types of businesses when like there's a strong industrial bread and butter? How do you do that?
Well, it's a balance. I think it's about finding the things that have the biggest impact. I think that a lot of the advocacy priorities are shared, as much as people may not realize it. So it's my job and the board's job, made up of different sectors, to determine what are the things that we're going to focus on. And I think that's one of the bigger changes that we've made recently in terms of advocacy. It's focusing our efforts a little bit more. There's a million things that we could advocate for. And I wish we had the capacity to advocate for all of them, but focusing them on where we have the most impact, which as a local chamber is at the local level, and really determining what those provincial and federal priorities are and how we can use our networks to affect change there and have influence there is really important. So I think really it is a balance. It's listening to people. It's determining where you're going to have the most influence, and it's working those. Like, again, consistency builds trust. You have to keep at it. You can't change your advocacy priorities every year. It takes years for some of these things to come into effect or to see them come to fruition. So, yeah, it's really about being consistent, focused, and purposeful.
I wish you were more consistent sometimes with these episodes.
And focused and purposeful.
Should have went to journalism school.
But-
I should have gone to
I'm kidding.
journalism.
See, I feel like there's going to be like a highlight reel of me just making fun of you, and that's not
okay.
what I mean to do.
As soon
'cause
as you mention
I feel
hockey, I
it's-
give it to you right back.
I feel like it's
so.
mean spirit of me to do that every time.
Well, I'm glad you finally looked inside yourself.
Yeah, I know. I feel like I have to do some work, but we won't
Yeah,
do it in
yeah.
front of Marie. We're talking to you downtown, which I think all of us can agree that downtown is an important part of any city's ecosystem. It's like the heart, the network, and again, obviously the Chamber of Commerce is headquartered downtown. I think there's a need to revitalize, the Sudbury downtown. I think you've talked about it in past op-eds, and I'm sure we've all talked about it wherever we are. In terms of like what the city needs to do, or what the community needs to do, I guess is a better way of thinking about it. What do we need to do in the medium, short term in order to start, revitalizing the downtown? And again, I think we've seen some of that happening, but there's still a long way to go. What, in your mind, do you think we need to kind of come together on?
Well, I think a lot of work's been done and a lot of work is happening, and that's great. I think, again, and I said this in my op-ed, in the fall, I really think it needs a plan, a short, medium, and long-term plan. The downtown master plan is being reviewed. That is a planning document, so I think this is different than that. So I think this needs to be a clear plan with stakeholder input and resident input and all of the different people that sort of have some really great ideas on how to revitalize the downtown. And then that needs to be taken and put into a critical path with accountabilities, budgets, timelines, and publicly communicated so everybody's on board and everybody sees what's happening. And most importantly, measuring that progress in some way. So there's a lot of things I think that we could do: improved cleanliness, improved maintenance, increasing foot traffic, all sorts of things. But I think that needs to be set out in a clear plan. And I don't think we're there yet, or if it is there, I don't know if everybody is on board or knows what that plan is. So I think that's the first step.
And I think, I don't want to break news here or anything like that, or give you like a hardball question, but it seems to me that that some of the
I don't know where he's going.
It'll be fine.
It could
I'm
be.
a journalist. Let me land the plane on this.
He's got his J school hat on now.
You know me. I think when we think about things like foot traffic and like having more eyes in the downtown, some of the sort of large projects that we're seeing coming from the municipality, I think, work to look at those. Is that gonna? To me, when you have those sort of anchor things in the downtown, that's going to do some of that work almost incipiently. Is that? But then it's aligning that with what the rest of the fabric is, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Those projects are really critical, important investments in our downtown. But those opening are a couple years away, right? So I think we need to. That's sort of a longer term impact. Mm-hmm. In the meantime, what operational changes and what service level changes without, too much service creep, as I like to call it, can the city do to sort of, when that's ready to open, everything else is in place?
Yeah, service creep was your nickname in high school, right?
That's pretty good. That's a genuine laugh. Good for you.
Yeah. There you go. That's good. Yeah.
I've said creep a few times in this interview.
Yeah,
now.
that's
I don't
good.
know what that means.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's coming up for Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One, Steve and I wanted to ask you this, and again, this is not necessarily a serious question, but like maybe a little bit.
I take it really seriously.
I mean, we take all these
Okay.
questions seriously, but like
This is hard. This is Dan Rather stuff.
you've seen in other communities, like Ottawa recently appointed a night mayor, and that's not night. It's hard for me to say that
not the
because I
night
want to say
terror.
nightmare, but a night mayor.
Like
because-
a mayoral
yeah,
candidate for the
of
night.
the night,
Of the night.
like a vampire
Yeah,
mayor.
yeah, like Nosferatu.
Because Ottawa's had like a reputation of being a sleepy government town where like after 10 o'clock, if you want to get a beer somewhere, good luck because it's not happening on the Ontario side. You're going to have to go to Gatineau if you want a beer. And I've been to Ottawa this past summer, and I don't know if the night mayor had anything to do with it, but I did feel like it was a little bit more upbeat. There was more things to do. There was more people out at night. Obviously, there's a lot of other things that we probably prioritize for downtown Sudbury before a night mayor. But do you think that there would ever be a need for something like that where somebody, probably not me because I don't go out, I go out once a month now and I don't know what people want to do. But do you think we'd ever have a need for something like that where somebody is thinking about nightlife and getting people out and going downtown and creating that foot traffic at night? But I don't know. We're throwing that out there.
Maybe. Why not? I think it comes back to that, resident and stakeholder input into a plan or trying things. And if they don't work, that's okay.
Yeah.
Moving on. But why not try that?
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds cool, number one. So
I
you'll
would
probably
like to have it on my CV.
I was going to
as,
say
like,
there's be a lot of
served
people
as
applying for
nightmare.
that job.
we could all bid for being nightmare.
Yeah, the
and see-
rotational. Maybe it's a rotational.
Well, and I mean,
Yeah.
as you get older, like you can't be nightmare on your
No,
own. You
no.
need people to
It's
help out.
true.
'cause,
I'm
like,
a
you can't do it.
mid-afternoon mayor at best.
Yeah, I know. I'm
Yeah.
like a 4 to 6.
Yeah,
I
4
would
to
say,
6
yeah.
mayor.
The desk
Yeah.
mayor.
Yeah, someone
Yeah.
else could take over the evening. Yeah.
Probably not us, not our
No,
demographic.
no.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about you guys. I'm ready for it.
I think you could do it. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think priorities first.
Yeah.
And then do we even
Does anybody
need that?
even
I think
want this? Yeah,
is it required?
Yeah.
But there was another show I'd watched where there was like I think it was about a Dutch
Oh yeah. Yeah.
community where somebody threw this. It was supposed to be this girl's birthday party, but it got out of
of hand,
control.
yeah.
They interviewed the nightmare. He had some things to say about it.
He was pretty cool too.
Yeah.
It was a pretty good billboard for being a nightmare.
I think
Yeah.
the point is that you have an idea that needs to be explored, and I think it would be really great if we could all come together and look at those ideas and explore those different ideas. There are all sorts of things, programs like Nightmares, but downtown champions. People that just walk around, give people directions,
Yeah.
recommend restaurants and services and all sorts of stuff. So I think there's a lot of great programs in other municipalities. Ottawa, I agree. I've seen a difference. I was
Yeah.
there in August, and I was like, that it felt a little bit different.
Yeah.
So, other people are doing things that are successful. We don't need to reinvent the wheel every time. We just need to try some things and see how it works out and move on if it doesn't.
Yeah. Maybe I'll be a downtown influencer soon.
I think
Yeah.
you already are.
Yeah,
maybe.
someone is-
Yeah,
just like
well, you're recording a
all the time.
podcast downtown.
That's
You're,
true.
You're in the scene now.
We're downtown.
We're-
The
yeah,
Unlikely
yeah.
Innovators saw what's happening and we came
and
downtown.
we moved downtown.
Yeah.
Should do some outdoors one. Memorial Park.
Oh man,
Yes.
that'd be great.
Durham Street in front of the Y. Like
Yeah.
We were
Yeah.
thinking about doing it like a bar patio in the summer too.
Absolutely.
Like,
Yeah.
Paul, can we do that?
Paul says
Yeah,
yes.
Paul says yes.
There we
Marie
go.
says
You're
yes.
welcome.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go. You can come back.
There we go.
Be a guest in the summertime.
Maybe, yeah, but the nightmare may be limited to a single term nightmare. Anyway, we want to give you the chance to talk a little bit about just the policy agenda going forward. You talked about consistency. You talked a little bit about in passing the Highway 69 twinning, I think they call it. And I'm glad we're not wearing the same Cambrian shirt because we'd be twinning. But
I have one of those too.
oh, do you do? Oh, good for you. That's
She's an
great.
alumna.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But like, what's the advocacy agenda look like, this year and into the future for the chamber currently? Just give me some snapshots.
Sure, snapshots. Local level, we have 3 task forces made up of board members and members at large. These are the effect of homelessness, addiction, and mental health conditions on business. There's a red tape task force, which is a long-standing task force, which will continue just to address some red tape at the municipality, bylaws, permitting, etc. And then the last one is a new one, municipal financial accountability. And so that one's really about just looking at processes and transparency and the budget process and all that and how that works and how they can improve just to make sure there's a more informed, city, business community.
And
then-
go, please, I think you're about to go to the provincial level.
I'm going to provincial. So provincial, we also have 3. Coordination of services for social services, which helps with our local one as well. So we have that one passed by the Ontario Chamber of Commerce membership. Obviously, it's something that affects every municipality in Ontario. And then we also have a request for provincial ride-sharing framework, which would allow some of the bigger ride-sharing companies to expand into other municipalities, particularly rural and northern municipalities, to increase access and affordability for transportation. That's important for every sector of our business community, especially here. And then the third one, of course, is our role on the Ontario Chamber of Commerce Mining Council, which a report just came out a few weeks ago. We had a launch here in Sudbury. Pushed hard for them to have that here. So it was a great event. So that's just really ensuring that we have the permitting and the sort of red tape eliminated at that level so we can expand and open new mines in the north. That has an effect on all of us, on the entire business community.
Yep.
The trickle effects are huge. And then the last, that wasn't the last. This is the last one. Well, there's others,
I
but
hope
the most
so.
important one. I know. There's
No, I'm kidding.
I know. Sorry. Highway
I'm
69.
kidding. Highway 69, yeah.
Yes, the last 68 kilometers.
Yeah,
of
I
Highway
had
69.
the misfortune of driving through a blizzard a few weeks ago. That's made a lot easier when it's 4 lanes, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, or
when you
just
don't have to worry about
closing
it.
and no detours around because there's no exits and
Yeah. So that's, I guess you don't have any word on that. I mean, I guess we're always pushing for that last 68. Like, what are we looking at?
Yeah, so it
timeline-wise?
is in the provincial budget.
Yeah.
So that's great. As long as they keep it in there, that's great. But I think it's really about some agreements that need to be made with the First Nations. There are 3 of them. So that obviously, and for good reason, takes time. So I think the last update I had is that 2 of those 3 agreements were signed, and there's 1 more pending. So hopefully we'll have some news while I am president of.
As you say,
Chamber
we'll
of
come back and do
Commerce.
an episode, and hopefully by later down the road, we're not still talking about the last 68,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
My board chair loves to say that 4-laning started the year he was born. So
Oh, wow.
that means he's younger than me, but still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we have a fun segment we want to test out with you because you'll be the first one we kind of put through the ringer, so to speak.
'Kay.
But
What's it
before-
called, Mike?
I think you came up with
Yeah.
it, so I think it's the best of Sudbury list,
Yeah,
right?
that's
okay,
right,
so
yeah.
I did my homework. But before we do that, we did want to give you the opportunity to, talk about a chamber membership. And if there's businesses out there that are listening or watching, like maybe Mr. Nero, who's coming in after us,
Okay.
who doesn't have a membership, why should they get a membership?
wait
What are
outside
the
the door.
advantages for it? And why would you push, for
Yeah.
for a business or a company in town to be a part of the chamber membership?
Without talking about all of the benefits that a chamber membership provides, I'll say one thing. If you have a problem as a business, you can pick up the phone and call us. And I think one of the strengths that I bring to this role is my knowledge of government. So it doesn't matter what it is. If it's a permit, if it's a sign bylaw, if it's a question, if it's a parking issue, call us. And we can guide you and help you get what you need. But we also know how to ask the right questions to be able to better understand how you might be able to make that happen. If the chamber can be the first stop, if we can be the place that people and businesses go to when they have a problem because they feel and trust that we will fix it, then I would have been successful. So I'll leave it at that.
That's awesome.
That's well
Yeah.
said. Yeah.
Yeah.
Call Marie.
Yeah,
That's
call
Call me.
Marie. Yeah, she'll get to the bottom of it.
I will get
no
to the
matter
bottom
what.
of it.
Okay, so we're going to get to the bottom of this Best of Sudbury list.
Okay.
That's a segue, by the way.
Yeah, that's great. You're killing it.
So after we made this list, I should just say that we realized how awkward of a position it puts the president of the Chamber of Commerce in.
Thank you.
So
Yeah.
fully realizing that you're probably going to try and give diplomatic answers to these. Essentially, it's a list of, food and destinational things. So I'll just run down the list. Mike, maybe you could go second, but best pizza in Sudbury?
Don's.
Uncontroversial answer.
That's a strong pick.
Yeah.
Strong pick.
I would have said the same, but it's not about me. Best burger.
This is a tough one. But
She's thinking really seriously.
I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to, when I first started working. I've worked downtown my whole life. But when I first started working downtown and I was going for lunch with my friends, Oscars,
Okay.
Hourglass.
Oh, wow.
Probably Hourglass was my favorite, though.
Did you ever have the jalapeno popper burger?
No, because I don't like spicy.
Oh, okay.
But
they had unreal burgers.
yes, the Swiss mushroom.
Yeah,
burger.
yeah.
Yes.
I feel that.
So I'm going back a little.
Yeah,
that'll make it less
Yeah,
controversial
you
because
saved yourself, right?
I did.
I think we talked on Friday that you can
Yeah.
pick things that have existed.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And
It's in totality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, I think I'd still throw down a deluxe super
Yes.
cheese.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, 2 patties. Not the
Super
super
cheese
super
with
cheese.
bacon.
See, I don't do the bacon. Just super cheese.
Now, does a chicken sandwich deluxe
No,
count? No, it doesn't
see,
count.
I don't feel that's in its own category. I feel.
It was very quick to be like that doesn't
No,
count.
then it's obvious.
Yeah. Okay.
my answer would have been different, so you can't change it now.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
Did you ask that last one or did I?
Well, I don't.
No,
let's
I did.
Not, let's not get hung up on formalities here.
It's your turn.
Well, I mean, do I have the permission now?
Yeah.
Best wings. I have some thoughts on this, but what's your thought? You can go back in time if you want to. Or no. Doghouse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not back in time. Back in town, but not because
yeah.
there's still a location.
Yeah, yeah.
Zilda, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people would say like downtown Doghouse was like the place, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm
But
an
yes.
Eddie's guy from way back, so
I don't know if
like
I've
I've
ever
been
had
going there
wings
since
from
I was like
Eddie's.
16, underage. Don't tell anyone. Don't tell my mom.
My experience with wings is limited. I'll say that.
Okay.
So I'm saying Doghouse because
Yeah.
I've had them.
Yeah.
If I were-
I find that like an interesting answer. Are you against wings? Have you had bad experiences? Just
No, I mean,
yeah.
I don't like getting my,
Hands
I'm-
dirty.
Yeah.
Oh, that's such
It's
a good
just
point.
one of those things.
Can I
Yeah.
say this? As I get older, I don't want my hands to ever be dirty when I'm eating something.
I hear you.
Like I don't want to like a wet nap. If you're
Yeah.
Do you
no.
remember the finger bowls at Swish LA? Don't waste my time.
I don't think they
with
have those anymore.
You remember those?
But
though?
they were great.
Yes.
I see. If I need a separate bowl of liquid, I don't want to do business with
With
you.
the lemon
Yeah.
and the warm water,
Yeah,
that's
no,
nice. It's a
I
nice
eat wings
touch.
at home, That's
Yeah,
a home
exactly.
thing. Yeah.
yeah. I eat wings when I could just wipe my hands in my hair and go for a shower.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah.
But doesn't everyone do
Yeah,
that?
Marie does. Everyone does that. Totally normal
Sure.
Yeah,
behavior.
it's t-
Definitely not
Yeah, don't
insane.
do that.
What about best fine dining?
Apollo.
Ooh. good
I
move.
love the Apollo. If I could go every day, I would.
Yeah,
Yep.
for sure. Yeah, I just saw something that Tula posted on I think Facebook, and it just reminded me again. I got to go back to the Apollo, even though it gives me some of the strangest garlic breath ever. You just got to keep going back.
So you gotta embrace it.
Oh yeah,
There's just something about
Yeah.
that place, right? It's
for sure.
just,
Yeah, I
It's
don't
homey,
think.
it's comfy.
Yeah, I think that's a good call.
I was offered this job that I'm in at the Apollo.
Is that
My
right?
director job was given was offered to me there
Nice. So
by my boss who at first pretended I didn't get it. And then she said I brought you here so you wouldn't freak out.
That's kind of mean.
I was a little
that's-
upset. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
and now Apollo will always have a special place in your heart.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As I get older, though, I can't make the left out of there. If I'm going back to work, can't do it.
I mean, yeah.
I'll go around the world before I make a left turn now.
Well, actually, I'm going to say this for Marie's benefit, and you're going to hate it.
Yeah.
When Wayne Gretzky,
Oh, my
Wayne
God.
Gretzky called me one time, and I didn't answer it because I was at lunch at the Apollo with Stella Holloway from McLean Engineering. And so, I've got a lot of Apollo stories now that we think about it.
Now that
actually, important life moments.
But I
where-
feel like Stella's really important too.
that's why I didn't answer it.
Right. Like,
Yeah.
Wayne Gretzky.
She loves
I
that
don't
story,
think
though.
so.
Yeah. That made
So
her
I
feel really important.
Yeah.
saw the number on my phone. I'm like, well,
What did it say? Like
He can
White
wait.
Oaks or
it's at Thousand Oaks,
Thousand Oaks,
California.
California.
Oh, yeah.
That's I don't know anybody from Thousand Oaks, but that's probably where he's calling me from. So finished the meeting.
Yeah.
Called him later. We did eventually talk.
Just
It was
to chat,
fine. But
right?
I'm like, I took that meeting seriously. I can't just say like I'm going to go talk to the great one. Where was I going to go? The bathroom?
No one would believe you either.
Well, exactly. That was
Yeah,
my
yeah.
other. It's like
And
why
you don't
would-
want to take a phone call from Wayne Gretzky in the bathroom, I don't think.
No,
Yeah.
no. And I don't know Tula well enough to ask if there's anywhere else I could have taken that call.
Yeah, can I
but-
take?
The
Can I go to your
kitchen?
office?
Can I go?
You can sort of take this any way you want. It doesn't have to be a restaurant necessarily, but what's a hidden gem of Sudbury that you tell people about that haven't been here?
Okay, I'm going to go downtown for this one. It's going to be a double.
Okay.
Wander Food and Wine.
Oh, yes.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's great. I was
Super.
there
Great
a couple
place.
weeks ago.
I know,
Love
it's
that.
great.
It's a romantic place.
It is a romantic
I
place,
love that
but also
place.
good if you want to go like girls' night
Yeah,
or
yeah.
men's night or
Yeah,
whatever it is.
really curated lists.
Yeah.
Really good.
Bonus, next door you can get ice cream at Huckleberry's right
Yes.
after,
Yeah.
which is also
That's an evening.
probably, it's an evening.
Yeah.
And then a little walk.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You,
that's super.
you got me onto Wander.
Well, see, but I got onto that because of Curb Your Enthusiasm episode, and that
Is
is
this where like the sexy drink comes from?
It's a sexy drink. So if you're going out for dinner with your wife
Yeah.
or your husband or your partner,
Yeah.
it's kind of sexy to just go get a drink somewhere else first,
Yeah.
and then go to dinner
It's a
at
big
another
move.
place.
It's true.
I've
I
used that
think
move with other people.
I think.
Yeah.
What, you
Be
mean
like,
your wife?
Yeah, my wife and
Yeah.
another
Oh,
couple,
I
and
see.
we're
I
going to
was
go to
gonna
Wander
say, like,
first,
you
then
mean-
go eat somewhere else.
When you said other people, I thought you're.
No, my wife would not be
yeah.
appreciative of sexy drinks with other people.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
not,
it's a good
it's not
move.
doing me a favor. It's a good thing she doesn't listen to or watch the show.
Yeah, and she'll continue not to. Yeah.
And then the last one we had for you was, and this could be taken in any different direction, but
Yes.
best outdoors experience.
Well, anywhere with a lake. Like
Doesn't
anywhere with
narrow
a
it
lake.
down for
It doesn't
Sudbury.
matter.
Yeah,
Exactly,
yeah.
but that's the beauty
Yeah,
of it,
yeah,
right? So Kivy Park.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm mentioning Kivy Park because it is there because of the business community.
Yeah.
And it shows you the impact
Yeah.
that those businesses have on, quality of life.
Yeah.
Because that's honestly why I do the job and why I did municipal government is greater good and community impact. And that's a really good example
Yeah.
of the effect that businesses have just on everybody here, right?
Yeah.
So, Kivy
You know
Park,
what I
Bell
want
Park.
to. You know what I want to volunteer for. I don't care how we do this. I'll do it for free. But if we can come together and make a restaurant work at the Science North outdoor patio, like that to me is such an opportunity. To your point about lake experiences, a restaurant has to happen on that patio they have there.
Yeah, it'd be a great
Yeah.
place somewhere on the lake for
Yeah,
sure.
no, for sure. It's
With-
such a
with
good gem we have.
Slips for boats.
Yeah, with
Yes.
slips. Yeah.
We were in Gravenhurst. I feel like I can end up talking about this every episode, but
Yeah.
we were in Gravenhurst a few years ago. We went to, I think, Turtle Jack's is the name of the place.
Okay.
And it was a restaurant on the lake, but they had all these slips, and there was boats everywhere because people came in from wherever, went for lunch, and then went back to their camp or their house. And I just think that Sudbury has, I think, enough people on the lake, plus people that are launching boats in the summer, that if you could just pull up somewhere and have a bite and look out on Ramsey.
Yeah, it'd be great.
I
Such a
would love
great
that.
picture. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not far from the downtown either.
Exactly.
Yes.
Those
Great,
two
right?
things are
You could-
connected so much. I find.
We don't have that, like we don't know how lucky we are to have Bell Park in the middle of our city.
Yeah.
So beautifully maintained. It's such a beautiful spot that just doesn't happen anywhere else.
No.
And I think what I really like to see is so many newcomers
Yeah.
take advantage of the space that we have
Yeah.
here. Well, I think sometimes local people sort of take it for granted.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you're
You know?
right. Yeah, I mean, we walk our dog there pretty regularly, and just like the newcomers taking selfies.
Yes.
In the lake, you're like, this is what it's here for, right?
It's all about.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you for very diplomatically sharing your best of Sudbury
You
list.
stick handle that really well.
Yeah, you're a pro.
Thought so.
It's almost as if she was trained to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway,
Thank you, Cambrian.
Marie, thank you so much for the time you've spent with us and allowed
you.
us to take this for a walk a little bit. I know you're really busy, so thank you for being generous with your time, and thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks.